remind the team just how good they are. Garrett apparently did the same thing after Dallas' previous 3-game losing streak earlier this year, and the team responded with their best win of the season, a 37-20 win over the Eagles, which we know well around here. You know that game. Shannon, how much will this help?
Well, it can't hurt. And now I was going to say, well, hell, he should have done it earlier. But clearly he did do it earlier. And I guess it resonated for one game. It didn't resonate much longer than that, Skip. I think it helps a lot in a lot of ways, Skip, because when you lose, you automatically think we did everything wrong. All three phases, we did nothing right. But you can pull plays, special teams, defense, offense, and show, oh, we can do some good things. I remember going into our first Super Bowl for the playoffs in '97. Mike had a clip, had a montage. It was about 4 or 5 minutes long.
Mike Shanahan.
And it was set to the music When We Were Kings.
Oh, wow.
Skip. When Mike cut that tape off and cut them lights on, I'm an emotional guy. I mean, I had goosebumps. I said, ain't nobody beating us. Nobody's beating us, Skip.
Wow.
And hopefully it resonates with them like it did with us. Because you are good. I mean, look, I understand you've lost some games. And, you know, we had, remember, Skip, we had lost 3 or 5 that in '97.
Yep.
After starting 9-1. But Mike's like, hold on, guys. I need to remind you. Look at the plays the defense making. Look at the special teams big hits. Shannon, look at the plays. TD, look at we're a damn good football team. You just need to know you're a good football team. And seeing that reminded us. Well, maybe seeing this montage will remind them, oh, we got playmakers. We can make plays. Let's see.
You respected Mike Shanahan. In fact, you've admitted you feared Mike Shanahan.
Yeah.
Mike Shanahan was the strongest voice in your locker room. Yours was very strong, but his was stronger. He even, you know, he was one octave above you in the locker room. The buck stopped with him. My problem with Jason Garrett is this locker room has tuned him out. They don't hate him and they don't love him. They're not going to quit on him, but they're not going to try to save his job either because he is a non-entity, non-factor. So whatever he does, and again, I appreciate the attempt here, and maybe it will be a good thing, but I doubt it'll have any impact. I hope it does, but I sincerely, seriously doubt it'll have any impact. It's just not what he does or who he is. Mostly they just tune it out. And I can't get out of my psyche the series I watched 2 years ago, 2017, on Amazon called All or Nothing, where they did the whole year inside the Dallas Cowboys. And there was endless footage, I mean endless footage, of Jason Garrett addressing the entire football team in their little theater of their meeting room where they have it tiered, you know.
They have stadium-style seats.
Stadium-style seats. And they would have the camera zoom in on various players' faces. They'd be doodling. They'd be just gazing into the distance. You know, their minds would be wandering all over the country probably. But they were not listening to what their head coach was saying because it just drones on and on. He's just vanilla. He's red, but he's red vanilla. And that's my problem with it. You need external motivation, which is why I opened the show by telling you this is a hit bottom week where the overexposure that this team has to media attention can turn into a good thing because it can go from turning you into fat cats into, as I told you earlier, like alley cats. Because at some point, all that bombardment of media attention is so severely negative and it's so relentlessly negative. You missed 19 tackles and Jerry Jones is going to fire Jason Garrett. He's the lamest duck who ever waddled to a football game.
Right.
And with all that, at some point, it's external motivation to where it finally just detonates in the locker room. We're sick and tired of hearing about how shameful we are, how we've embarrassed the tradition of the Dallas Cowboys.
Well,
that's what it takes.
Well, Skip, here's the thing. The problem that you run into is that Jerry has robbed Jason of his ability to govern.
Okay.
It's like it's like two parents.
Yep.
If one parent says, no, you can't do it,
Yep.
and I go ask the other parent, and the parent says, yes, I can, basically you rob the parent that said no of his or her ability to have the same influence. Well, see, the players know now, if I say something to Jason and Jason says no, I'm going to Jerry. Then first of all, if you ever try to go behind Mike's back and talk to Mr. B about something, Mike, you were gone.
I got it. I got it.
So
you're right.
There's a fine line here, and the thing is, Skip, like Mike, we be at practice, and Mike would ask somebody, okay, if this guy does this, what do you got? Well, you better be able to tell him on command. Because he does. He's like, well, what the hell did you do last night? You been studying your playbook?
I got it.
He kept you on pins and needles because you never know. He walked through the locker room and asked you, what's going on. Your playbook, you better not go to Skip. You can do whatever you want to do. But you take your ass out there on that field and make a mistake,
Yep.
you're going to have to answer to him.
You just described Jimmy Johnson that I covered in the first go-around with Jerry.
Mike, what about that bull? Hey,
that's, yeah.
Mike, hey, he didn't make Shannon have a good old time. But when it comes time to play, you better be ready to play. When it comes time to practice, you better be ready to practice.
Got it. So what could Jason Garrett have done that would ignite this team this week? He could make a dramatic, team-shocking, strategic or lineup change that he is not allowed to make.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just say, for instance, that he announced to the team on Wednesday that Jason Witten has been demoted and Blake Jarwin will start and finish the football game,
yes.
At tight end. He will be our starting tight end. That's a shakeup, man. That's like you're looking sideways like, seriously? Okay. But would he be allowed to make that change? Would Jerry allow that to happen?
Skip, that happened. We were playing. Michael Dean Perez, our starting. He went to the Pro Bowl a couple of years he's been there.
Yeah.
Mike cut him.
Okay.
3 games left in the season. Mike cut him.
Beautiful.
And guess what?
Shook you up.
Like, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Mike cutting people this late in the season?
Yep.
Veterans?
Okay. I think right now I love Jason Witten for what he has done, but not for what he is doing.
Blake Jarwin should be starting.
He should be starting, okay? But
because he gives you more pop. He gives you more bang for your buck.
He does.
You can get you're going to get a for sure 3-yard, 5-yard, wherever Jason is, that's where he's going to catch it. That's where he's going to be.
Okay.
Blake Jarwin got ability to get you past that.
Well, Dak has called him maybe the best athlete on the team. We'll utilize him. But unfortunately, there's a legend at tight end, and Jerry loves that legend.
Yep.
And Jerry was the one who brought him back this year, and the legend's going to play.
Right.
He welcomed him back with open arms.
Yeah.
That's